morning, back in open session, and I apologize to everyone who showed that we're a little bit late. We were just a little bit longer in closed session, so my apologies. And with that, we have no action for closed session, and I'd like to everyone please stand and join me. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, with that, we're on item G, public comment on agenda items and non-agenda items. This is the time and place to address the school board. State law prohibits the board from acting on issues not included on the agenda. However, requests may be made for discussion of specific topics at subsequent meetings. Upon recognition by the president of the board, please come forward and identify yourself before speaking. The Board of Education reserves the right to limit speaking time to 3 minutes or less per individual. I have one speaker card. Vanessa Herrera, can you please come forward and address the school board?
Is that too hard?
You can pull that.
Pull it down a little.
Just pull down the mic.
Too much.
There you go.
Hi.
My name is Vanessa, this is my mother, and I'd like to say that I am the new author here in town, that I wrote my first children's book and I had it published in December. And I'm having a book signing on the 12th of May, and it'll be in town. And my book is out already. It's out on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.
And she's a former student. I had her in some of my classes, so I had invited her because she was a product of our district, and I haven't heard of too many of our students becoming authors, so I asked her if she would at least come and bring one of her books. I was interested in buying it. So
I wanted to share also that Vanessa did go a short time here to Fillmore, and they transferred to Ventura because she had learning disabilities, special needs, and so they transferred her over there. I'm very proud.
Oh, yes.
so that she can use it, yes.
More pride, yeah.
I wanted to be an inspiration to their parents. I could have settled for less, worked for somebody, but I didn't want to do that. I worked for myself, and this is the results.
Very nice.
Great.
I'm very proud of you.
So thank you to Fillmore.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Could we pass that around, just
Yes.
take a look at it?
Did you do the artwork, Ken?
Yes, I did my own illustration.
Hold that there, take a picture.
Wow.
I'm sure that Jeannie will want to interview you.
Thank you for coming. Vanessa.
Thank you so much. Okay, next item, item H, communications. Student representative report. Looks like we don't have a student representative today. John?
We have a swim meet today.
Swimming, okay, that's a valid.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Next, superintendent's report, Dr. Machino.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, do you have anything to look forward to exciting?
I just update the board that the AGB has been doing due diligence in analyzing the data that we have collected from the 3 schools that we need to watch. We thought we could do it in 1 8-hour session, but we have completed a second, another 6 hours, and we still not complete with the work. And so we have called a meeting again, special meeting again next Wednesday. So we're hoping that, the next board meeting will have a completed report that we have presented to the staff and appropriate recommendations to the board. So, thank you.
Okay,
We have a negotiation session scheduled with CSEA for next week on the 8th. It's been a busy month doing all the paperwork for layoffs, and it's unfortunate we have to do that. We've gotten through our hearing for certificated employees and just moving through the process.
there's a couple of things I want to mention. The budget is still being hashed out. We'll have a meeting, May Levi's coming. Dr. Bush is not feeling well today, so he left after the day it ended. But the budget is still questionable, it's up in the air. The two initiatives on the ballot will be Governor Brown's initiative and Molly Munger's initiative. There'll be two on the ballot, I think. I don't know if they've been consummated as far as having enough votes to be there, but those are the two competing initiatives to raise taxes in order to fund some of the things that we need to have funded. Also, I know that the schools are working hard, they have the testing going on, and the kids look all like they're just really focused and ready to go. I watch them walk by and it's like they're ready to go, and I congratulate the principals and the teachers and the staff there, all of them, for working hard for our kids. And that's our goal, is to make sure our kids are successful, and we're going to do everything we can to make that happen. And we appreciate your support, and we'll see some good results, I'm sure. Kids are working hard. I had an opportunity to speak in front of the sophomores and juniors, and next week, so next month, we're going to have all our migrant kids here. If you didn't read about it, we had. Why don't you say a little bit, Jennifer? This is I want to give a briefing of this. Say a little bit about what happened. And this is something we're going to be proud of. And this is all about why we're communications. I said before that communication and collaboration is going to be the next agenda. Our kids, those are going to be the job market out there. The kids that can speak and can debate. And so we're working toward that. So let's talk about a debate team in our speech contest, kids.
Okay. Well, a week and a half ago, we took 19 6th through 12th graders, migrant students, to the 9th annual regional speech and debate tournament held at Rio Vista School in Oxnard, El Rio. And out of those 19 students, I'm pleased to report that 15 of them placed first, second, or third place. And some of those students actually walked away with 2 trophies, and these trophies are like almost as tall as I am. And so there's huge trophies that they both prepared and extemporaneous speeches. So we actually came home with 24 trophies, so more trophies than students. And the bus, was just filled with our students and trophies everywhere and bus seats. And so, it was a wonderful event. There were 150 students total from around the county participating in the tournament, but Fillmore definitely dominated the awards ceremony. And especially with our high school team, they won first place, our English high school debate team. And that's like the last award given. So it's not the grand champion, but it's the last award given. So it's definitely a pretty big deal. So the debate team worked hard, and as a result of all of these students winning, all of the first place winners, we have 9 students, are going this weekend to Sacramento for the state tournament. So there's about 30 students from around the region from Ventura County, and 9 of those students are from Fillmore. That will be competing in either their speech or debate in Sacramento. So
I just
definitely something to celebrate.
In the future, it just won't be migrant students. We're going to start to have speech contests here. We're going to have debate teams here. We're going to have mock trial as well. That's our agenda, is to really move into that direction. And I think we are very articulate kids. I've been in the classrooms, and they are happy kids. We are overall very happy kids, very quiet kids, very happy. We're just going to push them a little harder than they've ever been pushed before. We're going to really try to really up the ante and let them know they could do better. And that's our goal, is to give them opportunities. We haven't had a mock trial team. Our goal is to have a mock trial team that's actually in debate. We're not after school. We like to have it in the student day. Same with debate teams and our speech classes. So we really want to move in that direction. And Mr. Johnson's been working with the county. Will we be the first school district in the county to talk about writing with the Common Core?
Absolutely.
So what exactly does that mean?
What that means is that the Common Core has set the bar very high in terms of student achievement. Because the goal of the Common Core standards, which is now a national set of standards with accompanying assessments, is to prepare kids for college and not over, and the modern career. So part of the Common Core is writing, very strong writing portion. And what we have done in the county is take the writing standards of the Common Core and begin to develop rubrics and scope and sequence writing exercises for our kids from K all the way to 12. So there's a task force that's working on that, and they'll be completing their work at the end of this year. We're going to roll it out to the high school next year, and then the elementary the following year. When I say high school, we're looking at 6-12. And then the elementary the following year. And we're the first ones to do that, which means that the county will use our product as a model, the rest of the county.
You know, writing is a real thinking skill. If you ever had to write for publication, that's why I give journalists a lot of credit. I could never do it. It's so difficult. You got to think so quickly. You got to put everything in sequence. And you have spell check now, so it's not as bad, but it is really a thinking skill. And we want our kids to think. No more just learning. It's all about the higher level order thinking skills, which would be evaluation, synthesis, application, the things that are going to make a difference when our kids go out for jobs. So this writing piece, I sat in on one of the meetings they had. It is not easy. It's difficult to put a package together that has these standards out there that our kids are going to, we expect them to meet, and the federal government does as well. So I think we're out there. We're out there, we're going to be pioneers, and I think that's what we want Fillmore to be. We want to be the first, #1 in everything we do, and that's our goal, is to be the first to be #1 in everything we do. And I think that we're starting on our way with going toward communications, speaking, writing, and video coming. Principal Wilbur over there has just been hammering at me about video things. And so when are we going to do our first video bulletin board? I mean, bulletin.
It's very, very, very close. It's ready. We have the protocol up there ready, and we're just working out the kinks, and it's there.
That means when we have like anchor people,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And they're going to actually do the bulletin and do some kind of a TV type skit, right?
In 3 minutes or less.
Yeah, and it's going to be in every single classroom. We did this in Wyoming, I don't want to brag, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. We were doing this 25 years ago, and our tech guy, Gil, San Jose, was at Blackstock where we were doing it. So he got really excited when we said we want to do it, so he's getting all geared up for it. But that's all part of the communication piece, is can you stand in front of an audience and speak and articulate? And sometimes you become president when you're a very good speaker. So not always substance, but basically can you express what you believe? And so we're going to do that. And I told the kids at the at the meetings that Principal Wilbur had about being multilingual. Our goal is to move Spanish in the 8th grade, and then give our kids an opportunity to go all the way through to AP Spanish. And my daughter was fortunate enough to be trilingual, so she has 3 languages, not because of me, it's because of my wife. But so it really bodes well with her when you go to school, and opportunities. As an attorney, she now has opened the door. She can do a whole lot of things she wouldn't be able to do. So having a second language is nothing but an advantage. So I told them, don't give it up. No matter what, don't give it up. Do your English, but keep your second language or your first language. Okay, so that's it.
Great. With that, we're on to item I, information discussion items, and the item there is high school graduation exercises. Ms. Ward.
While this is going around, we have a new journalist in the room from the Ventura County Star, who's a 2006 graduate. So we're talking about journalism and book writing. Andrew Lopez is here, 2006. He already spoke to Ms. Weir about the speech and debate, so hopefully we can get some press.
You know, we're gonna get some good competition, Mr. Mark Farrell.
Bring it on.
You bring it on. Love what I hear, all right.
Okay. It's the same one in both directions. So, we can pass those out to the mic. So this is some information for you about the preparation for graduation. We have kind of a standard routine. The tickets, of course, as you know, are a newer thing for us, but we are about to have our third meeting this Thursday. It's the graduation planning meeting. We met, I think our first one was the 1st of April, maybe late March. And GAMA attends those meetings, and the class advisors and administration. So we have a long checklist that we have every year that we pull out, and there's, you know, all the different things for the facility and before graduation, and actual after the reception. So we've been going through that checklist. It's going really well. Probably the biggest thing, the biggest surprise last year when it was all said and done was the number of people that showed up right before the ceremony. If you remember, there's a long line stretch all the way to the Little League field, snack bar. And so we weren't anticipating that. You know, we were there early waiting for the crowd and no one showed up. And we had all the security and everybody there at 5:30. There's no one there. There's like there were two people in the stadium. So we're gonna expand our point of entrance is there for a ticket at the entrance. So we'll get people more quickly this year. There's some information on the tickets. We are not doing additional bleachers this year. We have 2,360 some seats in the bleachers. That's over 11 tickets per student. We're issuing 11 tickets per senior. And we've already had our lottery, our second annual. Mr. Wild drew the names out of the hat. He and Mrs. Lemons worked together, and we have a chart ready. Once the seniors, we have a seating meeting at the end of May where the seniors, it's a traditional meeting where the seniors go and they pick their seats. Once that's established, then we'll have the tickets ready to deliver.
Well, thank you, John. I'll probably be sleeping in the recreation room at my
It was all very random. And so the tickets have been ordered and things are moving along. We have a routine after 1 year for the tickets, and I just wanted to show you the communication. I knew that would probably be something that you'd want to hear about this year, how we communicated about the tickets this year. We started with our registration packet in July. Just a couple sentences about tickets we would be required. In my newsletters this year, I've included a big bolded paragraph. Parents, I had senior class meetings. I had, in January 19th and 20th, I attended all the government and econ classes, and I had the students sign that they were there, and I gave them the contract to take home. We have signatures on all but about 2 or 3 of those from every senior in possession. So, and then we continued with connected messages and things like that. And so there's a possibility that a parent doesn't know about the tickets, but I think it's a very slim chance that they're not informed at this point. Students are talking about it, they're trying to figure out how to share around so that everybody has enough tickets. So I'm open to questions.
One thing you haven't talked about, coordination with the city. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Well, yeah, in terms of security and
just making sure the streets.
Right, we have Gama takes care of that. That's part of his thing, and so he has a staff that helps secure the ramp, and then we only allow handicapped people into our stadium parking. So Gama has people stationed at the parking lot so that they don't come all the way down and turn them around. I've already contacted the city, and we'll have 2 deputies on duty and they're going to fix Rio Vasquez's hours, so it's only going to cost us more, and that's going to save us a lot of money. Deputies are not cheap, so that's really nice of this sergeant to do that.
So they're seating for any staff?
You know, we will have some this year. Last year we didn't, and so what I did last year, last year we offered, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to invite staff to come and help usher the aisles, because we had probably two or three staff at each ramp up. So we're going to do the same thing this year. So we'll have all kinds of adults there, and there will be extra seats. One thing you remember last year, after all the ticket things, there were open seats, and so the staff will be able to fill in and sit. So, as I think I said in here, that we're going to we'll try to keep the bottom row of the bleachers open for elderly seniors as we find out that they're elderly, and then we'll have our 2 locations for handicap guests.
So if you have room for staff and it's not all just secondary or elementary teachers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to be able to accommodate staff, and when we took, if you do the math, there are a number of tickets left over, and I want to save some for some emergencies that come up with students, but we'll have some for staff, and I want to be careful that, because you know it's really about the families of the kids, number one,
right.
And then we try to get the staff there. So I'll like last year, I sent out an email if staff are interested in coming to let us know, and we'll try to accommodate. A lot of students fit the staff into their tickets last year.
Yeah.
So so I know that's happening also.
Okay.
But we'll try to accommodate any teacher that would like to join. Now, the last couple of years, we've tried to have more board members at graduation. You know, prior years we had just 2 board members, but it's nice to have all of you there. So I want to extend an invitation for all of you to join us at graduation. Excuse me?
I said, thank you, John.
Oh, you're welcome.
I did it last year, but I was really looking forward to seeing it again. Good.
So we'd love to have you all there, and if you could just let Dr. Nishino know that, you know, if you can make it, then.
Okay, so board members, I know Dave's definitely going to be giving out diplomas.
His friends.
And who else?
And then do you guys have someone graduating?
I plan to go, but.
Yeah, Mr. Garnica, we're going to include you in the speaking this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're going to give you a job to do. Dr. Nishino and I decided that at a meeting we had during spring break. So
Twisted my arm on it.
Oh, thanks for letting me know. Okay, no problem, that's fine.
Okay, great.
But not all of us would be on stage, right?
Yes.
Yes, we'd like you all to be
All
there
of
if
you
you'd
on
like
stage.
to.
All will be on stage.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I mean, last year I think we had 3 or 4 there anyway, so we had plenty of room.
Right.
So who's getting out besides Dave for sure?
Well, we could take turns.
You rotate.
Rotate.
You do the first, 40 and then there's 40. You worked it out right, John?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions, board members?
No, that's great.
Thanks, John. Okay, with that, we're on to item J, consent items. Items on the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by single motion. None of the items will be discussed unless a board member or member of the audience requests discussion. I need a motion to approve. First and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. On to item K, action item 9. Approve consideration and adoption of the proposed decision regarding reduction or discontinuance of particular kinds of service pursuant to Education Code sections 44949 and 44955. The children's department.
I passed materials around, and there's a stack to the left of the sign.
Taking a motion to approve. Is there a second? Discussion?
What I have before you is the proposal for the final decision in terms of layoff. It's unfortunate that the state has not funded education or schools at the level they should. And unfortunately, it puts the burden upon the board to make decisions as far as making cuts. And I know you've done this for several years now, and we keep running out of options. Unfortunately, the cuts are people at this point. What we did is, this is the layoff process for certificated employees, and we went through the layoff process, which is a March 15th deadline to notice, a preliminary notice to employees of cuts. And then we go through the process of having a hearing, and where an administrative law judge comes out and looks over, checks our seniority list, make sure we followed the process legally, noticed people properly. We went through that process, and it was here in this boardroom. We had an administrative law judge come out, a court reporter. We went through this. The nice thing about this, I want to give compliments to the CTA attorney. He met with the district's council, and they agreed to stipulate and bypass the hearing. So unfortunately, we did have to pay for those folks to come out, but we saved some money in not having an administrative law judge make the decision. Both attorneys got together, had some questions, worked out the details, and so what you have is an agreement. This looks different than an administrative law judge's decision, which you would normally approve. This is an agreement between CTA and the district. Unfortunately, the hardest part of this is we are noticing 24 individuals for a final layoff notice, and we will follow through with giving a final notice before May 15th. And so unfortunately, this is the process, the legal process we have to go through at this time. We're hoping for a miracle in the May revise and a windfall of money. Other than that, we're preparing to keep the district solvent. So that's what you have before you today.
Comments, board members? I guess the only comment I've got is, you know, Todd's right, that we've had to go through this every year, and it's really, it's terrible that we're put in this situation by the state. We end up cleaning up their messes every year after year. They don't balance their budgets. They don't make sure that they take care of their business. And what ends up happening is we here at the local level have to see the pain visited upon people that we personally know. And so that's really a terrible position to be in. You know, the lawmakers up in Sacramento, they're so far away, they can just, you know, kick the can down the road. Well, it ends up coming to roost here with us. And I think I speak for all the board that this is not lightly made. It's certainly something we have to do, but it's a terrible thing, and I just wish there were any other way around this so we could avoid doing this. But, sadly, we've got our backs up against the wall. I know that a gentleman that I work with, his wife works in Saugus. They're going through the exact same thing. The only difference is they got rid of their class size reduction last year. So, you know, they had to go that, so now they're even cutting even more beyond the class size reduction. So I think what we're seeing here is we're about a year behind what everybody else is doing in terms of, I think we were able to delay doing class size reduction until this year. So never a good position to be in though. So I don't know if anyone else has any comments, but.
No, other than that June 1st meeting that he had, I wonder if this is anything that would be discussed there. I mean, anyway.
I do want to mention a couple of things, and maybe you can help us out, you in the audience, that whenever there isn't money, it's a local decision. Whenever there's money, it's always Sacramento's decision. And they've done it every year since I've been, every time there's been this kind of a cyclical effect, that's what's happened. And so you bet when the money comes, they'll be making the decision. And so hopefully you can get them on board to, you know, and then they didn't pass the budget on time, they still got paid. Then we passed that initiative that said if you didn't get the budget by June 30th, whatever the deadline was, they were going to withhold your pay. They didn't do it. They went to a judge, and the judge said, no, you got to pay them. So it's like, I don't want to say they're above the law. Hope Jerry isn't watching this. They're above the law, but I'm not so sure that they are really doing the things they should be doing for us here. They say they're the education governor. They run the educational platform, the legislators. Yet when it comes to make the tough decisions, they won't make them for us. So it's unfortunate. When we do initiatives, they say, oh, they find a way to weasel out of it. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen anymore. I'm hoping that people decide that we're the 47th state in funding. Out of 50, we're 47th per pupil. That's...
It's a crime.
It is. And then they talk about what kind of program we used to have. We used to be number 2 or 3 in funding.
Yeah.
Now we're 47. And so it shows you where priorities are going, not going to where we think they should be. So if you have the opportunity to write your legislators and tell them just get off the mat and start doing something for real for our kids.
Todd, you got a comment?
Yeah, John, I just want to let the board know, the individuals' names you see being laid off, this has nothing to do with performance. It's strictly by seniority. We have some high-quality teachers, and we're all feeling the pain from this, and I know the sites are. And my heart goes out to those employees. This is not easy. In the past, we've always had something like furlough days or something that we can, be flexible and work together. Unfortunately, we're to the point where we're down to people, but it has nothing to do with their performance at all.
Thanks, Don. If there are no further comments, then all those in favor of item number K9, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion approved 5-0. With that, we're on to item L10, student discipline and expulsion. I need a motion on expulsion 11-11-04.
Well, it's 11-12.
Oh, is there a correction?
But it's, is that the one? Yeah. I move that we accept the recommendations from the district administrators and staff on expulsion case number 11-12-04.
Is there a second?
Yes, there's a second, with a correction on the actual form itself. It did have 11-11-04, which she changed.
Okay.
Just with that correction.
Okay, great. Then first and second with the correction noted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And one abstention for me since I was not present during the meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Take that back. 3-0-2. So 3-4 approval.
3-0.
3-0. Two abstentions. Next expulsion is 11-12-13. Yes, 11-12-13. I've got a motion for 11-12-13.
Okay, I'll make a move to approve the recommendation of the district on student case 11-12-13.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, so I have 4-0-1, one abstention. Motion is carried. And the last one is 11-12-17. Motion carried.
I'll make a motion.
We already forgot who was making it.
District on student case 11-12-17.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions? So then 3-0-2. Two abstentions. Okay, and with that, we're done with student discipline, item L10.
Our abstentions were not based that we disagree, it's just that we weren't here when that discussion took place. So it's not that we're against the expulsion,
Or, yeah.
or what staff recommends.
Okay, so with that, we're on to item M, future meetings. We have meetings on May 15th, June 5th, and June 19th. 5 p.m. closed session followed by 6:30 p.m. regular meeting in each place. And then with that, we're on to board closing comments and agenda building. Board members, any closing comments?
Yeah, I Lucy and I both helped judge the science fair at the Sesame School, and I would have to say it was done very well. I had a couple of young kids that were very good and really had a lot of fun. I also attended and accompanied the site administrators to Ron Hunter's clinical teaching, I guess you'd call it a workshop over at Simi Valley, and it was very good. I had experience with his mom, Madeline Hunter, when I went to Rio Mesa for the 3 years, because the principal over there, Rocky Ortega, was a Madeline Hunter person, so all the lesson plans that I had to do all had to follow, the Madeline Hunter format, which it was clinical, it was good. I enjoyed that, and I hope, and I've asked, I'd like to be there when they discuss his version of lesson planning. I'm looking forward to that. And I think that's it.
Great. Lucy, anything for you? Virginia, any comments or closing comments?
None today.
Okay. And Tony, anything for you?
I actually attended how it's titled, the UCSB dinner for the seniors.
Recognition.
And I was very impressed with the number of kids going to the UC schools and a few others that are going on to other universities and state universities. We have one that's qualified to go, or not qualified, he got accepted by Harvard. And we have 2 kids that were accepted by Berkeley. So that's for a small school, that's not too bad. And that's not including all the other kids that were accepted to UC schools, other than Berkeley or UCLA.
How many kids total accepted to UC school?
I think at that dinner there were, I want to say 30.
John,
24. 6 off. Those were UCs, all, that's everybody included.
They're all UC admits. No, so if they were state admitted but not UC, they weren't there.
They weren't there?
No, they weren't.
Oh, okay, that's something more.
So there were more when you started at the
Yeah.
state on.
Anyway, it was a very, very good affair. I was really impressed with one of the young ladies that spoke about not having lived with her biological mother or father, but with her grandmother, who she called mom, and the struggles that she went through from elementary school, middle school, and high school. And that was very uplifting and very good to hear. And I'm glad the other kids that are, I shouldn't use the word more privileged, but have a better more fortunate, have a better situation, listen to it. And I think our other students ought to be listening to some of that kind of story, because again, it just shows you overcoming adversity. And she got accepted to, she's one of the kids, I think they got accepted to Berkeley or UCLA, one of the 2.
UCLA for sure.
Yeah, I think it's UCLA, yeah. Not Berkeley. 2 others got accepted to Berkeley. But again, it was a good experience and good food, yes.
Okay, great. The only comment I've got is we did receive a positive certification from the county regarding our financial status, meaning basically that they've looked at our budget for the next 3 years, and sadly, because of the cuts that we've had to make, we are able to say that we are financially sound, at least planning-wise, for the next 3 years. So, although, as I said before, it's painful, it's because we're doing our duty to make sure that we keep the district in good financial shape. So, we did receive a positive certification, so that's a positive thing from the county. And that's it for me. Okay, so with that, I need a motion to adjourn. Do we have any closed session, Alan?
I don't think we have.
Nothing remaining, right?
I have one.
Okay, you got one thing? Okay, so we're going to adjourn, take a short break, and then go back into closed session. After this, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor? Opposed?